one of, to me, the most exciting things at our disposal as marketers is leveraging retargeting. And we've all heard the idea of being omnipresent, which is another way of saying everywhere your prospects, your clients go, everywhere they go, it'd be really awesome if you would show up. And with the retargeting tools and different strategies made available to us, it's never been easier. And frankly, it's a lot easier, and I'm sure he'll dive into this. It's a lot cheaper to stalk someone, follow them around the internet, than it is to find new people. And I'll tell you that for all the campaigns we run amongst our different companies, most of our conversions, our leads, our demos, our appointments come after we have been retargeting customers or prospects for a while. So I'm sure Stephen's going to do a great job of breaking this down. Make sure you take some notes. And Stephen, I'll turn off my camera and let you have the show, and I'll stay in the background and kind of ask any questions that come up.
Sounds good. And Sam, is there any like live Q&A or not really on this one?
Yeah, so if you prefer, we can do live Q&A at the end. Okay. And then if questions come up throughout the presentation, at the appropriate time, I'll kind of jump in and ask those questions if that's okay.
Sounds good. I may not be able to see some of the responses, but still shout them out, and Sam can read them out to me if they come in. So, well, thanks everyone for being here today, and thank you, Sam, for having me on. I'm definitely excited to be here. And just a quick little bit about me. So my name obviously is Steve Whiting, and I am one of the co-CEOs and founders of StreetText. And if you're not familiar with what we do, we have a platform that does two things really well. One is on the lead side. So and you'll see some of that in a minute on the product side, but we make it really, really easy to meet new clients through Facebook and Instagram. But the part that I'm going to talk to you about today is more going to be on the remarketing side. And I think you're going to be pretty excited to see how it all works, and also just making sure that you're staying in front of your customers. So just a quick other stats. I mean, obviously thousands of agents we have worked with through our platform. We have generated over 5 million leads. We have clients that have done over 400 deals in our system since they've been using it. So, lots of cool stories when it comes to success. And, obviously you can come and check us out, but without further ado, let me dive into it, and I'll just share a couple things here on my screen, and then we'll also go into the account as well. So hopefully you can see this here. Let me know if you can see this.
You're good.
Awesome. Okay. So obviously, this is all about maximizing your Suite Assist impact and easy remarketing strategies with StreetText. So where most people actually have the hardest time, you guys already have a solution. And that's really around the content, like the ideas, the things that you want to put in front of your audiences. And that's why I'm so excited to share this with you today. But if you don't mind, I'm just going to share this with you really, really quick. If you've never run any remarketing, or you don't really know if there's any power in it, I just want to share this. It's just a really, really quick video from Lori. The sound should come through good, but let me know, and we'll kick it off right after this.
And it was so easy. I could not believe it. So I literally took like a half hour, and I put 20 remarketing ads into a bundle. And within, I'd say 4 or 5 days, I had some of my friends who are also agents. They're like, what just happened? I see you everywhere, every day with something different on Facebook. And so, of course, I told them I'm like, it's because I'm awesome, of course, whatever. But I also had a seller down in Woodland. She has been on my Facebook for a while, and she messaged me. She said, we've been thinking about selling. So I've been seeing your information every single day. We're ready to sell. We're moving out of state. So I've got her $1.5 million listing going on the market this Friday. And then she's also has another residence that she just built an apartment on. She goes, you can have that one too. So I basically have about $2.4 million in listing, literally no joke, from the remarketing ads, because she just kept on seeing me every single day.
And I think that's just a great video just to share the power of remarketing. Many of you, I'm sure, have a database. If you are so willing and you can, I would love to see it. Put in the size of your database. And when I say database, I mean not just even your past customers, but even your potential leads, people you haven't even worked with here today. If you are able to, I'm not sure if you can do that in this call, but I'd love to see some of those numbers because I'm going to share a couple insights that you might not have known about your database size. So feel free to throw those in, and Sam, you can read them out, or I can maybe see if I can find them in here in a minute.
I can read them out once they come in chat. Just throw them in the Q&A section.
Awesome. But the thing with Lori here, and the reason I love this story is that she doesn't actually have a huge database. I think she's got about 2,000 people or so, which, and for some is huge, but for others it isn't. But it was the fact that she was able to get the content in front of them. All of your next deals are probably already sitting in your database. Like your next buyer, your next seller is sitting there already. You just got to make sure that they work with you, right? And that they don't forget who you are. And I know this is what Sweet Assist does already in an incredible way. And so we just want to build around that and help make that even easier for you as well. So my promise.
Keisha says she has 328, by the way.
Okay, 328. Thank you so much for sharing that. So this strategy works for people that have a few hundred, clients in their database or leads in their database. Works obviously with people that have thousands, and then it continues up from that point on. I mean, the more you have, obviously, the better, in the sense that you also own now that ability that regardless of what happens in the market, if you've got a database of say 100,000 contacts one day, it doesn't really matter what the market's doing. Every email that you send, any reach out that you ever send, somebody in that database is willing to do something every single week. And that's the power of just having a large database and making sure that you're staying in front of them all the time. So my promise to you today here is I am not going to overwhelm you with big, expensive platforms or whatnot. And so I just want to show you just like some really simple strategies that you can implement that are really easy. You can use it obviously through a system like ours, or hopefully you're going to learn enough that you can go and implement these things on your own as well. So what Lori did is I'm going to show you the ads that Lori launched as well. And I'll show you how you can actually have that rotating for as little as $1 a day. And that's exactly what she did. She did $1 a day, and people started saying that they saw her everywhere. So just for shortness of time, I won't spend too much time on myself or anything else, but what I will just share a couple more things. I mean, we've worked closely with Facebook since 2013. Like I said, tons and tons of leads have been generated and tons of ads have been launched on our platform. So we make it really, really easy to do that. So I think what I'm going to actually just do is I'll just kind of skip ahead a little bit, and I'll go right into the platform and kind of show you more hands-on, because we have that time today, how I believe this can work really well with Sweet Assist. And I would love for any questions to come in. Sam, just read them out as they come in, and I will happily answer them all along the way. I see it might be a Q&A already. Oh yeah, so Facebook and Instagram, not just one. You have a choice. You can push it to either platform, but I always encourage you to do both. So let me know if you can still share my screen. I'm just going to share with you a client's account here, and I have permission obviously to share this, but I also want to show you a couple things about what she does and how this whole thing I think can work really well for all of you. So first and foremost, when you think about your database isn't even just the 300 people that you shared in it. It isn't even just the 1,000 people that you shared in it. It potentially, and should be, it's actually at least 4 to 5 times more than that. Actually, I'm going to show you the slide right here really quick. If I can see it really, really quick here. So your database isn't just the 1,000 people in it, because they know other people. And so they have family, like maybe they have a friend that's going through a divorce. Maybe they've got an elderly parent that's looking to downsize. Maybe they have some kids that are looking for their first home, right? And so the thing is that when you're on the number one agent in their mind share, right? So when people are seeing ads on Facebook and Instagram, and when they're going to different places or the internet, or they're seeing your email come through or whatever else, you need to make sure that you're the number one. And so your 1,000 leads could easily, or your database of 1,000 people could easily be 15,000 people. And I want you to think that way, because when you're running, even if you send emails as an example, maybe 15% of your email list opens up. Or hopefully you get higher than that. Hopefully you get 20 or 30% of people open it. But when you're able to retarget people, specifically the database that you have on Facebook and Instagram, you can get to all of them. You can make sure that everybody sees it. And that actually adds value to all of your other marketing as well, because if they see your email, or they see your mail out or whatever else you send to them, and they're seeing things on Facebook or Instagram, all that's going to do is align everybody to feel like, wow, I see that agent everywhere. And as long as you are the top, 1 or 2 agents in that person's mind, then their 1,000, your 1,000 contacts can easily become 15,000 because of all the other people they know. So if somebody says, hey, do you know of a good realtor? They can say, well, I see so-and-so all the time. I see Sam all the time. I would recommend reaching out to him. So I'm just going to hop over here for a second. Again, I'm going to show you Wendy's account, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what StreetText does. And then I'll go through how you launch the ads and everything else. But I wanted to first show you the power of this. So the first thing that you want to consider is all the content that you're already creating with Suite Assist. So you're getting basically what I like to almost call a recipe or some instructions on what to create. I believe it's every week or every month, you get this content sent to you. And you go to all of the effort to create that. And I believe a lot of what you do is video. Is that correct, Sam?
Yeah, so it's giving you scripts on making videos, static posts, everything to work your database. Just for everyone that's on here, and also for you to know, not everyone in here potentially has Suite Assist or Referral Suite. And if you'd like to learn more, obviously reach out to us. But the content that you're hearing today is still applicable. But with Referral Suite or Suite Assist, you just have easier integration.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so this works with video, this works with the static stuff that you'd create. And I'll also show you, as my promise today, I'll also show you some content that you can launch even if you're zero. Like what I mean is you've got nothing created yet, and you just want to make sure that you can get in front of your database. I'll show that to you. So don't worry, stick around. I've got you covered. And that's exactly what Wendy started with, and she still uses a lot of it in her marketing today. But what she also does is this. So she'll create all of these different videos. And I highly recommend this. And if I was to open up this ad really quick, I'm not going to play it, but if you were to see it really quick, it's basically, just, are you thinking of selling your home and want a kick-ass realtor? Learn how our seller, whatever got top dollar. Like that's an easy ad that you can create for every single home you ever sell or list or whatnot. And what she does is she's essentially taken all of this content and she is putting them together almost like an email newsletter, if you will. You can see here, it's like she's got this one, then she's got this one, and this one below, and so forth. But what you'll notice is that this is the only one that's running right now. So this one's running, and it's running at $5 a day. You don't have to spend as much as $5 a day. You can spend just $1, but she's got it set at $5 a day. She's got the different audiences that she wants to market to, which again, I will show you how to set those up in one click. So again, if you don't know anything about remarketing or it's all overwhelming, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to do all of that in this call as well. But you'll notice that this one's running right now. And in 14 hours, this one's actually going to automatically turn off. And this one is going to automatically turn on. And why this is so powerful is that she can control her budget. Now she's only ever spending, in her case, $5 a day, but she's got a big database. She's got almost 70,000 people in here, plus some additional people in her Facebook and Instagram that are in the peripheral, which I'll chat about in a minute. So she's got a fairly large database. And so she's spending $5 a day, but you don't have to. You could literally spend $1 a day on the strategy. But what will happen is you see as all of this content gets shown, when it gets to the end, right down here, she's got a lot, right at the very end, when we finally get there, she's got a lot. It'll finish here and it'll go all the way back up to the top again. And then she could change the order of these ads. She could add in additional ads and so forth. So why am I showing this to you? This came for two big reasons that all our clients wanted this. The first reason is that when you go to all of the work of creating content, videos, or even just static posts or social content. The problem is that when you post it on social media, it actually goes to die. And what I mean by that is you post it, a few people see it, but then it falls down the newsfeed for really nobody else to find. But what if somebody comes and checks you out 2 months later, or maybe goes to your website a week later, and you wish that they would see that content because it's like evergreen content. It's the kind of content that people should see on an ongoing basis. So you want to turn that content into ads, but you don't want to have, like, you can see how much she has here. Like even in this one bundle, she's got a ton of content. If she had all this content showing at $5 a day for every piece, like Facebook would like you to do, she could have, in this case, she's got 27 ads. So, you know, let's just say it was 30 ads at $5. She'd be spending $150 a day to run this remarketing bundle. But instead, she can spend $5 a day and that's it. That's all she'll ever spend. And the ads are now rotating. But as far as her database is concerned, they are seeing her everywhere, all the time. She can see obviously how much content people are watching and absorbing and taking in, etc. And she says it all the time. I'm in a Home Depot or a Lowe's or whatever else, and people come up to me and they say, I see you everywhere. And that's really the power of these ad bundles. And so I'm going to break down how to get these set up if you've never done this before. But I just want to show you here, you can see Wendy doesn't even just have this one. She's got another one that she's targeting a specific group of audiences. And this is her luxury bundle. And then she's got another one called her video retargeting. And I know she's going to be creating another one that has a whole bunch of testimonials that she has and just different like testimonials from her different sellers that she's worked with. And she just wants those to rotate through. And the reason I love this strategy so much is that a lot of people, when they think about lead generating or, you know, meeting new people through Facebook and Instagram, it is really top of the funnel, right? If you're building that database and it's top of the funnel, which means some of the people are going to be ready today and some are going to be ready 6 months out, 3 months out, you know, maybe even a year out, right? And beyond. What you the problem with that though is like, especially if someone's 9 months out or something, you know, you might do some follow up, hopefully using tools like Sweet Assist and whatnot that are going to help keep that in touch for you. But if that starts to fall through the cracks, then all of a sudden that lead is that you got an opportunity to talk to early is now going to go and work with somebody else. But if you're running remarketing, like I'm going to show you here for $1 a day or a couple dollars a day, you're going to stay in front of those people in perpetuity. You're going to be omnipresent. And when that time is right, who is educating that buyer? Or sorry, that seller? In this case, it's Wendy. Wendy is educating them over and over and over and over again. Every single time they see her content, it's her. She's standing out. She's in their mind. She's the one that's talking about the market, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope all of you see just how powerful that is. And now I'll show you a little bit how you manage the audiences and how you find the ad. So I guess this is not a live audience so far. Do we have any Q&As so far or any questions? Or hopefully you guys are getting value out of this so far.
No questions so far, but you're doing great.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll quickly show you how to launch the ads, and then I'll show you how you can also use content that you have already created. So if I go to launch ads here, I did promise all of you that if you have zero content at all, then we are going to have some content for you. So what makes Street Text unique is you can see that we aggregate all of the data. So when we give you ads to run, we're giving you ads that are proven. So for instance, if I hover over this one for a moment, you can see we have 11,000 of these ads active right now. And across all of North America, we can track that the cost per email is about $4 for an ad like that. And this is why we recommend it to you, because we've taken out a lot of the guesswork. We're doing a lot of the heavy lifting and aggregating that. So we give you good performing ads. If you were to click on the left-hand side here and you clicked on PDF and then remarketing, all of these ads here, all of these are designed for remarketing. And so what I mean by that is that if I wanted to launch this ad here, it's in this case, it's saying the 6 essential questions to consider before selling your home. It includes a guide. Every one of these includes a guide that you do not have to make. And as soon as somebody in your database interacts with this ad, it'll automatically send them the guide, so they'll get it automatically. It'll also send them an email so they can download it after the fact if they're interested. It'll also show you in your database who interacted with this ad. So you can use that as a great follow-up. You know, you might have had some people in your database that have been quiet for a few months, and then you can start to watch what they're clicking on and consuming. But if I was to launch this, all I would do is hit select. I could change the image. And so a great example of this is that if I wanted to, I could click this little X. I could go into Canva. I could make my own with my own brand if I want. It's still going to use Wendy's Facebook page. And so it's going to use your own business page. So you still have all of that other branding, but you could obviously further brand this. But again, if you're at zero and you just want to get started and you want some great content, you could literally just leave this as is. You just click next. You just click next. And actually you would see this is how people are going to go through all the steps of interacting with this ad. I'm just going to click next again. And now what you do, and I'll show you how to create these after this part, But now you would just pick the people that you want to remarket to. So for instance, she has a lot of different lists, but let's just say she wanted to target her luxury list. Everybody in her luxury. She could even exclude certain people in her database that she doesn't want to see this. So she's picking her audience. She can pick as many as she wants. I've got this one. Maybe I also want to do an agent attraction one for whatever reason. I'm just using these as an example. And so she's picking all the audiences in her database. And again, this can be your whole database, or you could segment it down. And right now I'm just doing some segmented lists that she has. And again, I'll show you how to do all that, so don't worry. You click next. Now she's going to pick her budget. So as I was promising, you could just do $1 a day. You can choose Facebook and Instagram, which I recommend, and you would hit deploy. And that is it. The moment you hit deploy, what StreetText is going to do on your behalf, it's actually going to create this ad. It's going to create that PDF. It's going to create the email it's going to send to them automatically. It's going to build that on your Facebook ad account using your Facebook page, and you'll be able to click through and see it just like I did on one of Wendy's other ads. And then you can take this ad once it's created, and then you could also put them in an ad bundle. So we have a lot of people, and this is what Lori was talking about at the beginning of my presentation. All she did was she launched a whole bunch of these, and you can see there's a ton of them. I figured how many she launched now, but she went and launched a whole bunch of these to her database, and then she put them in an ad bundle. And once they're in an ad bundle, she had them rotating, and those are all the results that she got from just these ads alone. So that, go ahead. Sorry,
Steven,
go ahead.
quick question real quick. Julie is asking, what if multiple agents in the same market are using the same ad? Isn't that going to look odd?
So great question. So Facebook and Instagram are huge, right? So what I would say to you first and foremost is that if you want to add some customization to it, by all means, you can do that. We also even allow you to customize a lot of our ads, and you can even use AI to kind of help rewrite them, etc., and make them really your own. But the second thing is that I just want to say is that, remember, you're targeting your database. So it's really about getting in front of, so unless all those people on everybody else's database, they're not going to necessarily see that. And even if they did, they're only going to see it if agents are actually going to the work to remarket to those people. And the fact that you're watching this webinar, the fact that you're here today, the fact that you're using these tools like Suite Assist, you're already in that top percentile. Most agents do not spend any money on social media, right? Like they just don't.
Yeah, and I would add, just to color it in, although we're looking in the StreetText portal, which I think is awesome. This is my first time seeing it. The processes and the systems that Steven's talking about, you can just do on your own directly through Facebook. So, yes, obviously using a platform like StreetText, it's going to bring it all into one place, make it easier, give you more data and analytics to look at, and just simplify the process. But the idea of getting people's attention through Facebook and Instagram with value forward type ads, we see 6 questions asked before you sell a home, or 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. You need to make those graphics and those videos in your style and in your brand, but you're still adding value. And I think that that's the most important part.
Exactly. And I mean, I think the beginning of what Lori shared at the beginning is I think testament to that, and the fact that, if she had not done it, she wouldn't have got those, that $2.4 million worth of listings in that first week of trying it. And I don't want to make that as a promise to all of you that you're all going to get a huge amount of business after doing this. But the point is that if you're not doing it, and most agents are not doing it, you're missing out on those potential opportunities. Even just starting with something templated like this is going to get you in front of your audience. And exactly what Sam said, what you should do is you should remake this content, and ideally you'd remake it with video. You'd remake it by introducing yourself and speaking, just like I showed you with Wendy's content. She started here, but remember when I showed you all of her ad bundles now, they're all videos. And that's because at the end of the day, if you can build that relationship with people through video and you're remarketing to your database, by the time you ever enter their house for a listing presentation, I guarantee you've already won it. But further than that, you'd be surprised at how many people consider you a mini celebrity by the time you walk in, because they see you all the time and they see your content all the time, and they've been learning from you, being educated from you all the time. And so I would say start with this if it's brand new to you. And again, you could create this stuff on your own in Facebook too, totally. But what my recommendation is, over time, you don't have to start there, but over time, create your own content and ideally put it in this video and get that in front of people. So what I will also show you really, really quick right now is that we also have the ability, because a lot of you have done the work of already creating really good content. And so if you were to search in our tool and you typed in this word post, what this is going to use is going to use some of your existing social posts. And you could either use it as a lead gen ad, or you can use it for the purpose of remarketing. But if I click select on this for a moment, hopefully she has this all plugged in. So just give it a second. She does. Oop. Oh, sorry. She may or may not have this feature enabled yet. This is, yeah. This might be a tricky one to show you. Okay, let's just see if it'll work for you. So she can see here all of her different posts. But what's really cool about this is that these are posts that she has created organically. And these can be posts that she created months ago. Sorry about the error on this. So hopefully it'll fade in and fade out, but you'll get the idea. I can also sort this by likes, comments, shares. I can sort it by if it's a video, a photo, etc. So that's, hopefully this works with that little error coming up. Okay, I'm sorting about likes right now. So let's just say she's created, this was probably a Halloween one, so probably not the best one, but she got 70 likes on this one. If I clicked on this, now this would be a video walkthrough. I don't think this is going to be a great demo. I may have to go into somebody else's account to show this to you. But you'll get the idea, and I'll just kind of share with you really quick. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work great for us in this particular call. But basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to take your existing content that you have created in the past, and this can be stuff that you created even with Sweet Assist, and it could be months ago. And it got engagement, and you can sort it by the engagement. You can then click next. I'm not gonna do it because I'm just worried with that little error that popping up that it's gonna make it hard for you to see. But you can click next, and you can actually turn this into an ad, and you get to keep all the engagement. So you keep the likes, you keep the comments. So why would you turn this into an ad? Well, if it already resonated with your audience and you went to all the work to create it, you could take this content and put it in an ad bundle. And that's exactly what Wendy does. She takes a whole bunch of all of the best content she's ever created. She's already posting on social, etc. She's putting some of her stuff out on YouTube, and she basically collects it, turns it into an ad in our system, and then puts it in the ad bundles, and it allows those to rotate. So the reason I wanted to show you this feature is because even if you've created stuff in the past, you can actually reuse it. So you don't have to start from zero. You can use our content, or you can use stuff from the past, or if you have someone on your team that's already creating content for you, and you think it might make for a good ad, you can actually convert this into an ad, put it in a bundle, and then you can observe how well it's performing. And if you don't like it, you can remove it or you can keep it. But again, this is where, Wendy would have created this content in the past. In this case, it was July 21st, 2023. And when she posted it, it lived for a while in people's news feeds, and then it dropped off, never to be seen again. But by using this technique, she can now bring that content again, front and center, only show it to people in her database, or she can use it for leads, but only show it to people in her database, and she can have it rotate so it's not spending a fortune behind it, but she's keeping it alive. And that's the power of using all of these different strategies in your remarketing. Okay, so unless we don't need Q&A, I'm just going to show you a couple more things here really quick, and then we can open it up to some more Q&A. So I also mentioned to you that, so I'm going to the settings here for a second. I'm clicking on audiences. So what you can do in Street Text too is you can create all of those audiences with just one click. And so with Facebook, with Street Text, if you came in here, even if you never had a website, an audience, so you weren't tracking or remarketing to people that were on your website, if you come here and you click this button, it'll create that for you. So you'll be able to use it. Your entire leads that are sitting in your database. If you come here and you can either import them, we have integrations into tools like Follow Up Boss as well, so everything can be two-way synced. You can always bring in things through Zapier, et cetera, as well. But let's just say your leads are sitting in here, your database is sitting in here, and you wanted everybody in your audience to always be in sync with Facebook and Instagram. You would just click this button, you create it. She's already created it. But now, as soon as a new lead ever comes into the Street Text system, it will automatically show up. Your ads will automatically show up if you're using this audience. And if you remove somebody, likewise. This is a page engagement audience. Again, it's a one-click audience you just create. This allows you, if anybody's ever liked any of your content, maybe commented on it, but never actually entered your database, this is a great one because it actually allows you to build a net around all those people, and you can remarket to people that never even became a lead. They don't even have to be in your database. The moment they click on an ad, comment on an ad, like on an ad, as soon as they engage with any of your content, if you run this particular audience, it's now going to build that net around them. And this is what Wendy does a lot of because she creates so much video content. As soon as people watch any of her video content or click on it, instantly they're pulled into her wider net now, and they're part of her remarketing. So this is a really great strategy as well. Again, it's a one-click, you create it and you can use it in your marketing going forward. And then we have a number of other audiences, which I can go into more detail here, but this gets a little bit more specific if you want to remarket to people that have watched a certain percentage of your content. But what's really handy about this is something you can't do like you can do this in Facebook, but every time you create a new video, you have to go and update that audience to make sure that that video is added to it. Our system will automatically keep all of your videos in sync. So you don't have to do that. It keeps all the busy work. It's the same as when you're creating your audiences. We keep everything in sync for you 24/7 with Facebook and Instagram. And you can create sub filters, which for the sake of privacy, I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. But again, I can do it in the Q&A. But for instance, Wendy has Follow Up Boss connected. All of her database is sitting in street text. She can then sort her street text contacts, which are her Follow Boss contacts, by deal stage and tag, and then she can create these sub audiences like luxury, etc., and anything she wants in her database. And then those are permanently in sync with Facebook and Instagram, and she can choose those audiences when she's launching ads. So just to quickly recap, and then we can open up any Q&A. Let me just see how we're doing on time here. I think we're great. I'll just run through this really, really quick here again, is that we have all those pre-made templates for you, but you don't have to use our content. You can use social posts that you've already created in the past or ads you've already created in the past on Facebook, or you can use all the stuff that Suite Assist is creating for you. And again, a lot of the hard work, in my opinion, is either starting or creating that content. And if you're working with partners like Sam, all of that gets a lot easier because they're already giving you everything that you should be creating and turning that into content. Again, it's really easy to deploy, pick your audience and create it. Again, social media content goes to die, but you get to keep it alive by rotating that content to your audiences. So either your entire audience or, I guess segments of your audience, and you get to rotate it. You can have as many ad bundles as you want for as many different purposes as you want. And then in addition to that, so this was Lori's ad bundle, which is actually, I forgot I had this here because this is the testimonial I showed you at the beginning. This is her exact bundle that she was using. And if you see it, I know it's going very fast. It's all of those PDF ads that I had initially showed you. That's what she was launching. And then she put them in a bundle. So really easy to deploy. And then again, the 3 one-click audiences that'll ensure you're everywhere. And that's going to be your website, your all leads list, and the page engagement. And again, you do all of that. You create all of that just through the street text system. And largely, when that's done right, it's pretty much set and forget. Because you can go in and you can observe how well the ad's performing. You can change the order, add more, remove some. But once you have this in place, you're going to be in the top few percent of agents that do this. Everybody knows that they should be remarketing, and hardly anybody does it. And I think largely because it's just a little bit hard to manage. We have a number of agencies that use street text. And the reason agencies use our platform is that it's really the management that getting in the weeds where people stop with remarketing. So they have great aspirations. They create content. They create some ads on Facebook to target people, but then they're running audiences. And every time they want to go and update that audience, they got to go and download their CSV file from their follow-up boss or some CRM, import it into Facebook again to keep those leads in sync. They have to schedule and try to remember which ads they want to run to which audiences and turn them on and off, etc. They can't do the ad rotation that we do. And so the reason agencies use us is because, again, it's all those little tiny things that get in the way that ultimately slow you down. And if all of that's covered and all the audiences are in sync and the ads are rotating, then you just focus on the content, either creating new social content, leaving the existing content to rotate, or even better, creating some great video organic content. And again, it could be, some of the stuff I've seen is like Wendy does. You saw she was talking about how she lists homes, probate, could be like the best schools in the area. It could just be about different elements of the neighborhood. She does a lot of content too, where she actually will go in and interview local businesses like coffee shops, etc. People love that stuff. And it's a great opportunity for people to see her, like her. And by the time they're ready to work, they're picking her for sure. So hopefully you found this all really handy and helpful. And if you have any other questions, StreetText does have a trial, so you can come test it out. There's no hard sell on this by any means. And yeah, we're just here to help you grow your business. And I think that if you use this in conjunction with the tools that Sam has, you will do much better because you'll have the content and the recipes to create at your fingertips.
That was awesome. Chat, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them into the Q&A or have a room moderator send it over via text. I want to ditto everything that was just shared. The idea of working your database and just your general internet leads more consistently with a stronger cadence that is value first, which is a lot of what was shared today. It's just naturally going to separate you from everybody else. And, I always say that clients hire the agent that either showed up last or showed up the most. And if you're the person that shows up the most, you're oftentimes also the person that showed up last. And, the idea of leveraging all of this different technology for retargeting, adding value. And here's the best part, or one of the best parts, is it gives you the ability to show them that you're in real estate versus telling them. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is I think one of the most common agents Facebook post is just listed, just sold. And that's cool. It's better than nothing, but that's more telling them. Where showing them is doing the videos, talking about tips, all the things that were shared with us today really separates you from the crowd and all the noise. So strongly encourage you to either, learn more about StreetText, but at the very least, jump into Facebook, watch some YouTube videos if you need help learning how to, push the buttons. It just works. And the nice thing is, like he said, you don't have to have a huge budget to make these things really start to work for you. If you're an agent, you've heard about farming your database, farming your neighborhoods for years. And this is digital farming. This is farming the people that know you or are starting to get to know you. And over the course of time, it works. It generates you attention. It generates you leads. And it, over the course of time, makes your cost per lead and cost per closing, just drop more and more and more. So that was awesome. Thank you for sharing with us, Stephen.
I'll also add one quote actually that Mike said that I thought was kind of interesting on his podcast that I was listening to. He said, and I think this is a great analogy how it ties it all in a sense. He said, "I'm not a chef, but if I created 7 videos of me making food and put them in an ad bundle or, running them as remarketing, you would think I was a chef if you were in my list." And I think that's the power to what you just said in regards to adding the value in the content. The fact that you're getting it out and putting it in front of people, you will stand out in everybody's mind. You will be the #1 agent in everyone's mind just for the sake of doing it, because so few people do.
I love it. Well, if you have any questions, this is your last chance. If not, if you'd like to learn more about StreetText, obviously reach out to the team over there. And if there's anything we can do to support you, please let us know. If you're on this webinar, you'll be hearing more about Referral Suite that we'll be rolling out soon. So that will certainly help with a lot of the content creation. And if there's nothing else, we will wrap it up. I appreciate you guys all coming on. Stephen, thank you for taking time out of your day. I'm sure you're busy. You just added a ton of value. We will see you all next week, same time, same place. Make it a great week. If you're in San Diego, stay dry. Wherever you are, have a great week and looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks.